All right, welcome back. It is Free Therapy Wednesday. Each week, we like to get a little mental boost from our friend Dr. Laura Saunders. She's talking about something I'm very familiar with, perfectionism, Kara. As you know, I am perfect.
So you don't need this. You can sit this mental health
I can
boost
sit
out.
this one out. Take it away.
And Dr. Laura Saunders is a child psychologist, which also could help you.
I can hear her laughing. That's the funny thing.
She's talking about something that most of us, except for perfect Scott Haney, can relate to, and that is the pressure of perfectionism. Not everyone is just born perfect. Hi.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Yes, this applies to everyone but Scott. All the rest of us that have tried to have high standards but seem to fail at them, because that's what happens in this perfectionistic attitude. It becomes like an all or nothing or black and white. You either succeed or you fail, when really there's a huge gray area in between, and we don't need to be so hard on ourselves. Well, Scott, you're the exception.
In all seriousness, perfectionism can really harm your health.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because what happens in these situations in that black and white mentality is, if you're not perfect, if you're not the A plus, if you're not, the top performer in whatever field you're in, you're a failure. So that inner critic really lets loose. And we talk about this a lot. When that inner critic lets loose and you're so hard on yourself, it really does a lot of emotional damage.
Okay. I totally get this. I don't know if women are more apt or more girls, but I can just remember like being really, it sounds silly now, but like being upset if I didn't get an A, or like, how do I do it more?
Yeah,
or like
that was like that in college.
Setting standards and like go. And so how, you said we need to loosen the grip of the inner critic.
Right. We need to loosen the grip of the inner critic. That's where we start. And then we focus a little bit more on self-compassion, right? If we say this, if it's not something you would say to a friend or a relative, don't say it to yourself. And the self-compassion is, slow down. Is this really that important? Taking a few deep breaths always helps clear our thinking. But use a word or phrase. Actually, I'll share the phrase that I use with myself all the time is, it's okay. Like, it's okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay that it didn't go perfectly. It's okay that it didn't go the way. It's okay. And I take a deep breath and I say, it's okay, right? Mm-hmm. And because it helps you gain a little bit of perspective on this.
Mm-hmm. You say perfectionism has several sources. Can you highlight some of them? Genetic, family, and culture?
Right. I mean, the joke is that certain cultures are, super high performing, right? That there was the whole Tiger Mother movement that was very prominent a few years ago. Certain cultures are super perfectionistic. Sometimes it comes from family pressure. Parents really want their children to achieve at the highest level, and they want them taking all the AP and the college credits and whatever else they can do. And sometimes it is just self-driven, right? It's that individual's internally motivated. I had a son who was super self-driven that we had to constantly kind of tone back, like, it's okay. It doesn't need to be that way, right? So sometimes it's really self-driven and you have to kind of dial them back.
So especially as mothers, I think, I heard this, it was probably from you at some, but like when we're striving for perfectionism, to do it all or have our kids do it all, or even in our own life, I didn't get this done, I didn't do that, like, this endless to-do list, that we're just actually, we're putting it on our kids, which isn't healthy, of like that you're never allowed to stop pushing it up the mountain. You're never allowed to just take a break.
Right. And we talk about that as multiple role responsibilities, especially as parents. I think there's a little gender bias in there, and that mothers often feel that sense of they have to be a mother, they have to be a sister, they have to be a spouse, they have to be, whatever their job is. They have to hold all those multiple roles at the same time, and you can't do that. It's impossible. So then you constantly feel like, well, I'm a failure as a parent, I'm a failure as a spouse, so again, it's that black and white thinking really traps you, instead of looking like, well, I took the day off today, so I'm just really going to focus on being a parent today, or I'm at work now and I'm going to focus on being a psychologist or journalist, or whatever it is. So really looking at how you can shift and not set yourself up for feelings of failure based on perfectionistic attitudes.
We only have about 10 seconds. How to Be Enough, Self-Acceptance for Self-Critics and Perfectionists by Ellen Hendrickson. A good read?
Good read. keep your standards, but set yourself up for a little bit of less expectations. Don't make the work a judgment on your character. It's just the work.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's
so
okay.
We're going to take a deeper dive with Dr. Laura Saunders on the Care is Cures podcast for this episode. And also, you can look back and see many of her mental health episodes. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you soon.